fireworks popping off. This is where we got scared.
Yeah, it's getting fairly close to those seats right there. How was your trip? While we were
Oh,
all grinding out here, you took a, I would say, very well-deserved trip. Now, I don't know if it
yeah.
was relaxing. You will be the one that will tell me if it was, but you took a well-deserved
So,
trip.
quick highlights, and then we can like go into details. Um, I had to, it was my birthday. We had a wonderful time on my birthday. The New Year's happened. I haven't spent the New Year's in the Philippines in over 22 years. So,
Wow.
like having that experience again and some of the specific things of what was happening specifically in this time in the Philippines was like, I think just made it a little bit better for me. I had a fever for 2 days of 102. So
Oof.
that was not great. Um, Cold showers every day, which is to build my immunity. So, and then my last highlight would be 20 hours at an airport. So,
20 hours.
20 hours.
Was that, did you know that going
I
in?
did, I did know that going in. There were some things that needed to do, so I changed my flight, and the way it happened was that the only flight available, because there's only one flight that goes out of Taipei to San Francisco. Um, which is the exact same time, which was leaving at um, 11:30 a.m. Taipei time and arriving in San Francisco 6:40 a.m. That's how it is every day. My flight from Manila to Taipei landed me at 3 p.m. So that meant from I had to wait an entire day until the next flight to San Francisco happened in Taipei. So that's why I waited 20 hours at the airport.
What did what did you end up doing?
I did a lot of walking. Like I'll tell you, the Taipei airport was huge. They had brand stores everywhere. They had like three Gucci stores in an airport. I
Wow.
was like okay, sounds good. They had all the high end duty free stuff. So whatever you wanted to buy, you can buy. But surprisingly, their food was pretty cheap. Like I was there for 20 hours, so I had like a full like meal set, I'll
Mhm.
say, and I didn't pay too much. If I converted it to dollars, it was probably $8 to $10 per meal for myself, which included like a full soup and a little like side plate or whatever the case may be, and another tea. So it was like a full meal for like $10. It
Mm.
was satisfying. But what I did a lot of reading. I read the book Killers of a Flower Moon. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. It was recently a movie by Martin Scorsese,
Is that the
starring
one?
Leo
Yeah.
and De Niro.
I haven't watched it. I heard about it. I've been told it's a good
It's
movie. I've been told it's a long movie.
it is a long movie. I will watch that movie in theaters by myself because Mackenzie did not want to watch it with me. She was like, she did not want to sit 3 hours long for this movie. So I said, okay, sure. So I went by myself and I watched that movie and it was great. And that what inspired me to read the book. So
Mm. In your
um,
opinion, which was better, the book or the movie?
it's tough because I really think they did a great job in the movie, but I do have to give it to the book. And the real reason is the things that was kind of left out of the movie for like film purposes, right? If they adopted the entire book, this movie would have had like 3 series in it, right? Just because all the
Mm.
information that was described in the book. So I really appreciated number one was the deep dive they did of the federal agents that went to investigate the crimes that was happening there. So it was super interesting to see early detective like tools and methodologies and like thought process and how they were building up for the FBI, like the soon to be FBI, you know? And that was interesting. And then the book kind of ends with, hey, this guy I don't want to spoil it, but this guy, like the crime, you know, was not isolated. It's not an isolated case, right? The crimes of murdering the Osage was because of greed, right? And it was happening before the certain person, and it was happening after the certain person. And the book just kind of extended on that, just to kind of showcase that, this this shit was happening. This was not isolated. This was widespread. So that was something that I appreciated from the book that was not like as portrayed in the film as like thinking about it, like if they put it in the film, it'd look goofy,
All right.
So,
I get it. I get it. I think that's how it
but
usually goes, though. Books tend to be better than the movies because movies just don't cover everything. Sometimes they don't even fully understand the book and don't doesn't represent it as well as what's in the book. But I definitely
now
think
let me ask you,
I should watch it.
Eduardo,
Yeah, what's up?
what would be your favorite, I guess, book to film adaptation that you know of? Or, I mean, not necessarily that you've read maybe the entire book series, but
hmm
or maybe you've watched it or you've read it or whatever the case may be. What do you think has done it successfully or something that you'd appreciate?
Wait, so wait, okay, repeat that. You want me to say what is a good adaptation, or what's something that I've read that I wish they would do in adaptation of?
The former.
Okay, so um, honestly, I think it is outside. Depends if you consider this a book, but I want to say, at least the animes that I've watched have always been a pretty good
Definitely
representation
an adaptation of
of the
books.
mangas.
Absolutely.
Because, like, I understand people that just like to read mangas, because that's the original source, but feel like the animation just takes it to a complete new level that pieces of paper just can't show. Because it's very different when you adapt a book where it doesn't have any pictures, but the mangas
Right.
do. So you already have the author's vision, or the artist who's drawing it, because they tend to work together. And then all the animators have to do is now put that on the screen, but then give it life, you know? And for the most part, I want to say the animes that I have watched have done a really good job. I've actually recently started reading Attack on Titan. It
Ooh,
just
okay.
so the finale just happened. I watched it. There's been some controversy about the finale. I know you haven't watched the whole thing, but let me
Uh-huh.
tell you, there was a lot when the finale in the manga came out. There was so much hate going towards uh, the author that he came out and publicly apologized to the fan base about the finale,
About the ending.
about the
Okay.
ending. And then I don't know if it was caused by this or if he was already planning on doing this, but he actually added like in some extra pages to it. He basically added an addendum to his finale.
Was it already published?
The what the
The finale?
the
Like the
finale was
manga?
already published when he added the addendum. Yes. So he
Okay.
added some extra pages to the finale. Again, I'm not entirely sure if it was already planned beforehand or if it was in lieu of all the people being
The
mad.
hate?
Yeah, people the hate. But so when that happened, I was very scared, I guess, about the anime finale, and there was even rumors that there was going to be an anime only ending due to all the hate, because the author is very much involved in the anime as well.
Yeah.
Um, so they thought that he was going to make an anime only ending, which I don't know how I would have felt if that was the case. Thankfully, it wasn't. Although I will say there was a, I wouldn't say a lot, but there was a few changes that were quite significant in the anime from the
Okay.
manga. Like there are a few highlights where the anime changes things from the manga that actually had a decent effect in the interpretation of the ending, or at least a significant um, impact in the changing of the interpretation of the ending.
Okay.
I want to say, and a lot of people have agreed that it actually improved the ending. So those changes improved the manga ending, but there was still a lot of people that hated it nonetheless. I won't go into spoilers because I personally do wish and hope you watch the whole thing. And whenever you do get to the finale, hit me up
Yeah.
and we'll watch it together in the movie theater room of my apartment complex. And I just want to see your reaction to the whole thing. Um, but yeah,
Okay.
that
That's fair.
I want to say that that is like something that I think is a good, for the most part, a good adaptation of like books. Um, Now I do want to answer though the second thing because this has been on my mind since I was a little kid.
Uh-huh.
Something that I wish had been adapted for the longest time. I'm telling you, has been in the back of my mind since I was a kid. I used to read these as a kid. I don't know if the books hold up because I haven't really revisited as an adult. Have you ever heard of the 39 Clues, the book
I have
series?
not heard of
Okay.
that book series.
So,
I'm looking it up right now.
this book series has to do with these two kids who in the first like couple of chapters their grandma died, and in that they go to the funeral, and in that funeral they basically find out that they belong to a very powerful and big family, and that the grandma has in her will left not only to the kids but to a select group of family members, because apparently their family is huge and they're all around the world, to go pursue this treasure. It's basically a treasure hunt. They're hunting for something, and it's called the 39 clues because there are like 39 clues that you have to find to be able to find the actual treasure. And in it, it just developed like throughout the whole book series. I only read the original series. I think there was additional books afterwards. I think there was like 10 or 11 where it just expands the the lore in the family, like that there's different houses and groups of members within this family, and each house
Hmm.
has its own subset of skills and are known for being a certain type of way and have certain characteristics. And like these two protagonists feel so out of place because they feel like they have no set of skills. And then throughout the series, they realize that they've been trained for this their entire life without even realizing it because their grandma has basically been training them, and even their babysitter, because they have an au pair with them throughout the series. And even like, and it just shows that the grandma had orchestrated this whole thing to have them hopefully succeed in this 39 in the scavenger hunt. And
So, like, during this series, are they like unlocking clues, or are they collecting
so no,
everything
they
for the finale of this like game of some sort?
I think it starts off with like a riddle, and that takes you to I think it's a buildup. It's like there's 39 clues scattered around, and you have to get them to be able to get to whatever the treasure is. I'm blanking on what the treasure was, but I think it was some sort of serum. I don't remember what the serum was for, and I think
Okay.
what ended up like I think what ended up like the reveal at the end, or not the reveal, but I think what the treasure was is that it was actually a list of ingredients. It was the list of ingredients to create some sort of serum. I don't know if the serum made you strong, made you intelligent.
Immortality or something?
Yeah, I don't remember
Invisibility?
that. I don't remember that. I do remember that there was like houses or within the family, right? These subsections of the family.
Mhm.
And like one was specialized, and apparently everybody from that bloodline, from that direct bloodline, um, were stronger. Were just naturally stronger. They were just built stronger. So that was their skill. Another one was just naturally artistic, like they were just gifted, talented artists. Others were just more intelligent than all the other family members. And then one was like more cunning. They were like they had like some sort of mascot, and this house was like a snake because apparently they were like slick and cunning. Um, but yeah, it was when I read it, it was wild. Like I loved those books, and
Yeah.
I started off with just reading them in the library, and then I would then beg my parents to buy me the ones that they didn't have in the library because I really wanted to keep on reading and seeing like where it would end. And there's like a couple of plot twists at the end that I won't reveal. If you ever want to read those books,
Maybe it'll come out in theaters down the road.
dude, I
I think
remember like as a
a
kid,
wave of fans
dude, I
will
remember
come
as a
and
kid, like
go
I
and
would
read it.
watch because they had website. It was huge back then. Like they had websites and stuff. I would visit the websites. Like you can go and see like what branch of the family or which house of the family you would fall in. You know how they have the Harry Potter houses. So they
Yeah.
had like quizzes like that. And they even had like a trailer inside the website where they had actually casted two people that were supposed to represent the sister and the brother, the protagonist, and it
Okay.
was always rumored that they were going to make a
A
a
movie.
movie or a series or something like that, but nothing. Look, let me see if I can pull up let me see if I can pull it up. Um,
39 Clues website.
yeah, not the 39 Clues website, but the 39 Clues actors.
So were they just there to like promote the site? Like this is where you can do
No, it's because
this.
so they had here, let me they had okay, wait. I didn't do that right. Get out of here. Do okay. 39 Clues actors. And now I shall share. Okay. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so see, this is supposed to be the kid, the male protagonist, and
Okay.
then where's the sister? Okay, this is a picture of the sister. That's supposed to be the sister right there. So
You
they
know, I
had
was just saying, like, just because you see Lemony Snicket's series of unfortunate events, so when you were describing it, I was like, this kind of sounds like a series of unfortunate events.
really okay. I've never seen that.
You
Is it
haven't?
also a series of books or is it just a series?
It's yeah, it's a series of books. You've
Okay.
never seen the movies either?
No, no, I have not.
Jim Carrey had a movie with it, which is a classic, and then Netflix adopted it as an actual series with Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh, I have seen that. I haven't seen the thing, but I've seen like promotion
Yeah,
about it. Um,
yeah.
but see, like
Not,
they
no, not
go ahead.
from the way you describe it, though, there was like big differences in premise. Like they weren't searching for. I mean, they were looking for clues to figure out a mystery, obviously, but they were being chased by this guy who's just out to get them for their wealth and whatever. So it was kind of it had different premises, but I
Okay.
think
In
the
this
adventure part was the same.
if I'm not mistaken, in this series, there was also a mysterious man, I think, following
Who's
them.
chasing them?
Yeah, that was changing them. And they do eventually
Yeah.
reveal who that person was, but it goes on for several books.
Was this person also like kind of like a relative to them?
Yes, I think it was. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
these books are very similar.
Interesting. So, like,
Yeah.
they casted these people, and, like, in the books, they would have some pictures of them too. Not all the books, but there
In
was a
the
few.
books?
Yeah, like, they would so it w there was, like, special books, I think, where they would have pictures of these actors that's supposed to represent the characters. Like, I remember I had a couple of these. Like, see, this again, main
Oh, I
protagonist and
see. Just
family
like
members,
that.
like, they would just have 'em like that. But they like, they so we thought, like, in my head, I always thought as a kid, it's
Some
like, "Oh, okay, these are gonna
photos.
be the actors that are gonna play them in the movie," and then the movie never came out. And so I was just
Yeah.
left there scratching my head, like, why would they went why would they didn't need to cast these people, but they did. See,
Yeah, they
there's so
go
many of
deep enough,
them.
you know?
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, they went so deep into it. But I mean, people do this all the time now. Like they dreamcast a lot. So
But this was the actual official book. Like, this was the actual official book doing it.
well, there's some books that hires actors for the
Yeah.
covers and stuff.
I know, but they
So
even like, they would even record certain scenes. I remember seeing that in the website. That's what I was like.
oh, okay. That's a little different.
Yeah,
They did
and
like scenes from like the book or like promotional scenes.
I don't remember. I wanna say it was more promotional than the actual scenes from the book. The other thing that I guess kinda caught my attention from the series of books was that, like, the books weren't all written by the same author. It was, like, a group of authors, and each one
Oh,
would yeah, like, here, let me pull it up again, um, and just show you what I mean. There was some authors that would come back to write some of the books, but let me
and
see.
directors for it's a Star
Written
Wars series,
includes,
huh?
books. Let me see if I can find it.
Now, do you have to read it in chronological order or like in book order
Yes.
to fully understand? Okay.
Yeah. So see, the first one is written by Rick Riordan. If I'm not mistaken, he's the guy who wrote the Percy Jackson books.
Percy
Uh,
Jackson books.
yeah,
Mhm.
see, Gordon Corman, Peter, I don't know how to pronounce that. But you see how every single book is written by like a different author,
Right.
and then some come back, like Peter comes back, Gordon Corman comes back,
Gordon,
Linda.
Jude comes back.
Yep, and then this one the was written by 4 authors. They brought in 4 authors to write this one book.
Sounds messy.
Yeah, that was crazy. I wanna say I think my favorite book from I wanna say it was this one, but that's probably because this was technically the finale. This book came out afterwards to promote the 2nd series. This was supposed to this is the original finale right here, the 10th. I
Okay.
believe I actually have all of these books. I think they're somewhere in Peru. So I ended up taking all my books with me. I remember buying
Mhm.
most of these, if not all of them. I do remember having this one, the 11th book, because they brought this out to promote their 2nd series. Um,
What was it called? The 40 Clues?
no, it was still called the 39 Clues, but it had something to do with Vesper. They introduced another family. So it
Oh,
was
okay.
now their last names are Cahills. Um, and then they now go up against like another family essentially. Um,
Okay, so okay, you just did something that like is what I'm caught my interest, and you said they're Cahills. I read it and I saw, is it not Cahill?
oh, dude. Okay, so you could be
Now,
right.
so and like this is where I want to ask is like, have you heard it somewhere before? Because one of the things that like, because Mackenzie is a big reader, so she would say names sometimes of book names, and I'd read it, and I'm like, what? What is this? Like the way you pronounce it, and the way I'm reading it on this page, not connecting. So, have you confirmed that it's Cahill's?
I have not, but we can right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like when I read it as a kid, it was always Cahills to me. And then
Uh-huh,
and I've never actually seen or met somebody with that last well, actually, that's a lie. I have seen some records with that name, but, like,
uh-huh.
on a piece of paper, never someone saying it out loud, you know? Let's see. Let's see. what it is.
Let's see if your entire childhood is about to change right now, Eduardo.
How to pronounce. Maybe you're right.
Irish.
The
Maybe.
California State
Oh.
University's 23 campuses offer unbeatable education that works.
Turn that off. Did you hear that YouTube apparently is making videos slower if you use ad blocks?
I heard about that.
No? All right, let me see.
How to pronounce these names, as well as how to say more confusing names that too many mispronounce. So make sure to stay tuned to the channel. 2 different ways of pronouncing it. Cahill.
I don't hear anything. I'm not sure if it's
Oh,
you can
wait.
hear it on your end.
It's low on my end, but maybe you're not. How would I be able to? Interesting. I don't know if I can actually show you.
If you send me the link, I can watch it on my end.
Okay, yeah, because I don't really know if I can send you audio.
But what's the verdict so far?
It did say Cahill.
Cahill. I'm sorry, Eduardo.
No. It said Cahill.
Oh, Cahill?
Yeah. But it said that there was 2 ways to pronounce it, so I didn't hear the second way. I just sent you the link.
Okay.
I just sent you the link.
All right.
Cahill, or Cahill. Both pronunciations are used incorrect.
Seems like we're both right. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Cahill or Cahill. Okay. So both works. So
Both work.
Maybe search up specifically for 39 clues books.
I don't know how that would make a difference. Well, look at that. Apparently there is a guide. See, look. This is what I mean, dude. Look. Can you see this? Yeah. 39 clues. Cahill's versus Vespers. Me, Amy, and Dan Cahill. And then they actually film something, you know?
Right.
Like this
that is pretty
Blue Hunters, this is Amy and Dan
deep
Cahill.
into it.
There's a new challenge coming for Cahills around the world.
We can't say much, but we have a question for you.
I will say though, they're terrible actors. Now that I've
wait. They say.
Oh yeah, they do. Huh?
Or,
I didn't even.
yeah. So
Here, I'll send it to you.
listen to that. I can't hear it, but like, go ahead and listen to it.
I'll send it to you right now. Let me know if you got it.
Oh, I got it.
Okay. Let me see.
Blue Hunters, this is Amy and Dan Cahill.
There's a new challenge coming for Cahills around the world.
Yeah, they do. I guess I was right. I'm glad
Confirmed.
I'm right.
Confirmed. You know, for me, you have this book series. I did have a book series for the longest time that I read as a young adult that I really wanted them to make into a movie series, and they actually did a couple years ago, and it was so bad.
Which one?
It was so bad. Artemis Fowl.
Okay.
It was actually released by Disney, and it went straight to streaming. It was pretty bad. And as a young adult, I read Artemis Fowl, like all of the series. Every single time they came out with like one of the books, I was the first one at the library, because I used to go to a public library, and I would rent out those books. I'd look for them. So I read them lovingly as a child. I loved it. I loved the stories. And then they came out with whatever they came out with. I think in like 2018 or something like that, or 2020. I'm not sure.
I just looked it up.
long
So
ago.
it is 2020, and I do remember Disney like making this movie. I remember seeing ads about it, some marketing. So it was bad. I never watched it though. I didn't end up watching it.
I've only seen parts of it just because I can't bring myself to watch the whole thing and have this wonderful series that I held dear to my heart as a young adult be tarnished like that. So it was unfortunate.
So you're telling, yeah,
Oh,
dude, it got 8% in Rotten Tomatoes.
yeah.
Not that Rotten Tomatoes means anything, I'm gonna be honest
No, no.
with you. Still, I mean, if you can't even satisfy Rotten Tomatoes, which I think Rotten Tomatoes is too courteous and too nice to Disney movies in general. Um,
It, yes, they are. Yes, they are.
IMDb, it did get a 2%. Oh wait, it says 4.3 out of 10, but there's only 2 stars. How does that work? Anyways, yeah, it
Well,
seems
that
like it
makes
was
sense.
not
Like, it's
critically
about 5
received.
stars is about 4 out of 10.
Oh, I guess so. Why do they give me 5 stars though if they're gonna make it out of 10? Um,
Yeah, that is confusing. But yeah, that's one of those series. But going back because you gave 2 examples. One of the examples I wanted to also give about anime and manga is I'm not sure if you heard, but the new season of One Piece is being released on Netflix every week,
what?
which is
Wait, really?
crazy.
Wait,
The newest season of One Piece is now being released on Netflix. I just watched the first episode last night. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. The
is
animation was great.
is it
Good.
just releasing or is Netflix now
It's
helping
just
funding?
releasing.
No, no, but I'm saying like is Netflix also helping with the funding of it, or is it just simply that
I
Netflix
I
has
I,
exclusive rights to now have it in their
I think
catalog?
so. Well, you can still watch One Piece and other streaming services,
Mhm.
right? But the newest season is only on Netflix,
Interesting.
and they're producing it, so it's by Netflix.
Oh, wow. So did you see a difference in animation quality then?
Oh,
Wow.
oh my gosh, it was wonderful. Like just the opening scenes was great, and what was great to me was because this specific arc of One Piece is like we're deep in it now. If you're a One Piece fan, Egghead is going to be crazy. Okay, and one thing that I noticed when I was watching this episode was that the animation, other than being fantastic, right, it showcased what some of the manga lacked, right? Because back then when I forgot what chapter we covered in this newest episode of One Piece, but there's this one panel about these beams of ray that's like destroying something, right?
Mhm.
And in the manga panel, you see, I think like 16, I forget. There was like a certain number. And all the One Piece theorists are like, oh, look at this number of rays that's coming down. I think it was like 8 or something. Oh, it matches with the moons, and the moons represent like the people's names of these certain people in the story. So there was a lot of speculation about just like beams of ray of the panel. But when you see the animation come out, it was just a shit ton of rays. It wasn't even just eight; it was just a shit ton of rays destroying everything, and you're like, oh, okay, I guess that theory doesn't mean shit anymore right now because uh, it no longer supports like this specific number of force.
Mhm.
So it was nice to see that you know additional context that the animation gets, which I appreciate that they're doing One Piece justice, and they've been doing it at a high level. And it's my hope that you also get to watch One Piece someday and catch up with all this craziness that they're going. But
So,
I s- go ahead.
no, okay, so 2 things. I just looked it up.
Uh,
Seems like it's still the new episodes are still airing on Crunchyroll. Netflix is the new alternative. They will be
okay,
about a week behind because the first episode already came out on Crunchyroll January 7th, while the new episode on Netflix came on the 13th, or sorry, the 14th. Um, People apparently there is a praise here for the opening. Apparently, the opening is really, really good.
it's dope.
Um,
It's dope.
and
It's
then
dope. We should watch it.
all right, I can share my screen right now, and I can watch it right now. And then the other thing though is, and this was announced a while back though. Now going to what you were saying about you wanting me to watch One Piece, I saw they're remaking One Piece,
Oh yeah,
like a
also
Netflix
on
original.
Netflix.
Yes, when that comes out, I am watching that because I'm hoping that they will condense the episodes, and it won't be 1,000 episodes that I need to watch to catch up. So yes, I will start watching it when that comes out. I
You
will.
know, not I wouldn't say recently, but in terms of the amount of episodes One Piece have, I recently have started rewatching the entire series. Like I'm on episode like 300 something now, so I'm like deep in it at the moment, which I'm taking a break on because sometimes too much One Piece is a little much. But I agree with you. I think that the streamlining of like the East Blue Saga in an anime standpoint, I think would be perfect for newcomers. Because I remember like watching it recently, and I'm like, man, like this is kind of dragging a little bit. Like, get to some of the good stuff.
Mhm.
So I'm happy that they're redoing that. But yes, please let's watch this.
Wait, what is it saying here? Is that you can't unmute someone else's presentation? But this is my presentation. Why doesn't it let me?
Um,
Interesting.
that's okay. I've listened to this, so the visuals is just getting so hyped watching this just because of like I'm caught up in the manga and I'm like, Egghead is so good.
Yo, there's just so much. It's so fluid. The animation is just
Right?
yeah. So I got a question though,
Mhm.
because I seen scenes from like the first season, and then I compare it to the animation from like the newer seasons. When did that change in animation style happen?
I mean, it's so the anime has been going on for 2 decades now or
Hmm.
something. So it's, or maybe I'm overshooting it, but it's going on for such a long time where you can see like each arc, like each big arc, they kind of change the animation. They just kind of upgraded it a little bit,
Okay.
you know? Like you'll see when like they start using CG, right? Then you'll start seeing that they start changing the palette a little bit. And I think what was so amazing about like that opening um with like Luffy, the main character, like there's this scene where he's just walking and he's changing clothes. And that's this entire outfits the entire series as a countdown to the very first one. And like you can see kind of like the evolution of how much that this gang has grown. And that's I think the magic of One Piece is like even throughout this many years, you're still finding like these amazing feelings about a freaking show or the manga.
I can tell you're a big fan.
Oh, don't get me started on One Piece. I started reading it from a suggestion from my friend during a summer. I was working as an office aide for the University of Nevada, Reno, and I was an office clerk for the College of Education, and my job was like stamping books all day. So while I was stamping books all day, I was I was online reading, scrolling, catching up on One Piece. And at that point, they only had like maybe 400, 500 chapters
Okay.
released at that time, maybe even less. So I caught up pretty quickly, and since then, I've just been following it. So I've been following it for over 10 years, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, way over 10 years now. So yeah. So yes, I'm a big fan. I absolutely love it. I think that it's one of those masterpieces of work that's going to be looked back by many people and be like, wow, that's really cool. Like it's the only anime that's crossed over a lot. They did a collaboration with the LA Rams recently,
Wow.
like the NFL team. Yeah, and they
What
did
was
like
the what was the collaboration?
so like during the NFL game, they were just promoting One Piece, and it was like One Piece colors the whole time.
Oh, okay, okay.
So like everything that was like on the jumbotron had like One Piece characters on there, and like when they did the audience cam, they put like their bounty, like how they do it in One Piece. So it was just like an experience with them. Like, have you not seen those like giant One Piece fans from like the football clubs,
No.
like in soccer?
I do know that like Luffy was in the Macy's parade that then got de-inflated by a
Oh
tree.
yeah, his hat. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was unfortunate.
Yeah, that was very
It was
unfortunate.
still cool to see him though. I saw him like I was in Reno during Thanksgiving, and I was waiting for the Luffy balloon, and they said Luffy's coming. I was like, I gotta stop what I'm doing. I gotta watch my boy in the Macy's parade. You know, it was cool to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah. Other than that, one thing I wanted to talk about in my trip was just the New Year's. I'll show you the clip. I'll send you the clip, but it was like 3 or 4 minutes of this like fireworks that's going on in our backyard, right? Because in the Philippines, and honestly, they told me that this was the last year that they were going to allow like private fireworks because there you can set off fireworks in your backyard in New Year's.
Hmm.
So people do it, and obviously every year there's reports of people losing fingers and losing their hands, right, because of it. I mean, obviously dangerous. But after this year, they said that no more of that. They're going to patrol that. So this year, while I was over there, we had this video. Let me send it to you. It's quite a big, or you know what? I'll share my screen, and it's this awesome video of what's it called of the little sparkler that we had. Find it real quick. And it being kind of the last time that we can do something like this, it was really fun.
Something similar is happening in Peru.
Yeah.
I don't know if it became a mandate or not, but I just had some cousins who came from there, and they were telling us about that. It has shifted as well. We Fireworks used to be a big thing. Um, Private fireworks, people would just, like you said, from their backyard or from the roof, would just have fireworks. All right, wait, let me see it. I want to see it actually.
Sure. So I mean, you can already tell in the background before we even start. Wait, why is this only 23 seconds? It's like a lot. 1 second. That's not the. I goofed. Oh, shoot. Post this real quick.
Yeah, but like,
Sorry, wrong
no,
video.
you're all good. But yeah, I missed that because when I was in Peru, not only would we do fireworks, dude, and um, they would build dolls out of like hay, and then
Mhm.
they would just blow them up or torch them out on the streets. It was a way of supposedly um, getting rid of the
Like devils,
bad
right?
vibes from the last year. Like you would put it in like old clothes or something, and then just try to get up the bad vibes so you can start the year fresh. Uh, that blew my mind when I was a kid.
Yeah. With because my birthday is on New Year's Eve, so every year, I've always had fireworks for my birthday, and obviously they're not for me. Okay, I get it, but I was at fireworks for my birthday. Okay, so but in the Philippines we always got to do it like uh, on our own. So this is in our backyard in the Philippines here. Um, I don't know if you can hear it.
No. See if you can try to unmute it or mute it. I don't know. If you click on the actual video, like hover over the video, does it in the middle of the video?
It says you can't unmute someone else's presentation. So I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means. He also gave me that.
All right. I mean, it's just you just hear a lot of people screaming anyways. So this is better. I'm actually turning it down for myself. But that was actually me lighting it. So I mean, I'm in this white hat here, and I'm lighting it, and I'm like, oh, it's starting to pop off. Honestly, we thought we messed up here. We're like, oh shit.
I can't even really tell where it's gonna shoot from. I would assume.
Yeah, it's gonna do its thing. It's about to like pop off here. It's like getting lit now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, that is not at all what I was expecting. It's like doing a little dance.
Yeah. And then like there's different tiers, so like the fire climbs up.
Was that supposed to be like a bird?
I don't know, but it was just a bunch of sparks.
Wow.
And at this point, like everyone else is like firing off fireworks around us.
Dude, that's actually crazy. How is it like how are you guys not scared that it's gonna like set something on fire?
Oh, we were scared too. We were prepared. We had a hose ready.
We had a hose. Oh, it is sending it up now. Oh, that's actually so cool. Are those like easily accessible to purchase out there?
Yeah, we purchased it. Yeah, you can order it. Yeah. So at this point, it's like 12:59. Sorry, like 11:59, and like fireworks popping off. This is where we got scared.
Yeah, it's getting fairly close to those seats right there.
I think we hit New Year's like right here. It was kind of great.
Wow. Wow. That was truly something. I've actually never seen anything like that.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
that's the Philippines for you. And but like I said, they told me that this was the last year that they're gonna allow stuff like this. Obviously for safety reasons, which we understood. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's understandable, but you can also feel like sad about it.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was a lot of fun, honestly. Like I said, there was only about that last portion where I felt like we were in danger.
Dude, I would have been
but
scared with like towards the end there was like that explosion of just white lights. I
yeah,
I was scared from here, and like I knew that was a video. I was like, it just seemed like an explosion happening out of nowhere.
yeah, that's how we looked at it because we were like, oh, is it done? And all of a sudden it goes white out like that, and you're like, get back under the tent. So, no, I mean, everything turned out great. Nothing was on fire afterwards, so
Nice,
we were fine.
nice. Well, it looked
So,
like a lot of fun.